Hi everyone, Luna Sims here. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a speed build of something that is kind of out of the ordinary of probably what you see. I haven't seen a lot of spooky things across the Sims. Everyone usually kind of keeps it light and airy, but not saying that they're not out there. But before we get started, please thumbs up this video. Let me know down below how long you've been here and what are you enjoying most, speed builds, chats, or the Let's Plays, and make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos. So I am building a abandoned, kind of still used cemetery. It is called WestWood Cemetery. It is available up in the gallery for the Sims. Now, I put this lot as a generic lot. There's nothing to be sold here. I guess I could have made it a hangout spot because I kind of have this vision that teens will randomly kind of go here because, I mean, it's a cemetery. They want to be spooked. They want to see if it's really haunted and if they can talk to spirits. But I had this idea for a while when I got my Realm of Magic pack. It wasn't when I got my Vampire pack. It was when I got the Realm of Magic pack. I was like, I should make a cemetery. But I did decide to do this because I kind of have this idea with my spellcaster that I haven't shown yet. You could probably see her on Twitter as I'm going to post her looks and also on Instagram. I kind of had this idea that she will go there sometimes to kind of speak with her ancestors, because I did put like a small little section where witches are put, and I put a section where the vampires are put, and then kind of in the middle. So I didn't specifically make like an animal cemetery or a witches cemetery or a vampire cemetery. It's pretty much a hodgepodge, just cemetery. And also I have the idea of when my Sims die, I'm going to have the family kind of have like a funeral, and they're gonna put their tombstone here. So a lot of the tombstones that are just random, they'll eventually be like the Sims that have actually passed away. Depending on how well I keep up with this, I might make another cemetery that is more not ancient, not run down. Like when you see me build, I'll actually put up like a do not enter sign. The cemetery has pretty much been demolished and left alone, and it's kind of got more of the older generations here, and it's just kind of, you know, when you run across those cemeteries that no one really takes care of it anymore. And also the backstory is that the lot is haunted, and people have randomly gone missing when they go to visit the cemetery. So they just they took the drive and built a big tree so no one can drive in there anymore, and just put a do not enter sign because they just don't want people here. But of course people still go here, and they'll still bury their loved ones or their animals here because it's a family thing. They're like, no, my family's here, I want to bury my family here. But I might make a less spooky graveyard and actually make it to where, you know, it is a recent graveyard, to where, because eventually my Sims are going to die and they're all not going to fit in here. Pretty much in a nutshell, they're just not going to fit. But I really had this idea of like the vampires come here, and that's kind of where they might meet if they're not doing a house meeting, or the witches may conjure here just when they want to be out with their ancestors or something like that. But it's a little, you know, out of the ordinary, and that's really what I want to try and do here, is kind of do things out of the box, out of the shell with the Sims. Not only for me, but just kind of bring a different light to the community. And I mean, me personally, I like this cemetery. I'm not in love with it. I think I could have done a little bit better, but I was kind of doing it when I was like, had been up for 24 hours, and I was like, I don't want to build a house. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna build like a small little spooky cemetery to see, you know, how I can do it. But the next one, I think, which I don't know if this sounds kind of crazy, I think I'm gonna look at a couple of cemeteries and then kind of get some ideas, because I wanted to build a mausoleum to actually put those casket beds in, and then I was just like, I don't actually feel like doing that. So I was like, I found this rundown what is it? Like where it's like a plant sanctuary thing. I can't even think of the name of it, but it kind of looked like a mausoleum, so that's what we're using it for. Like when you go inside, it is just a rundown like greenhouse. And but I was like, you know what, it kind of fits the part, so we just went with that. It's just for looks, to kind of just give it that vibe. and we just set that there. But I do plan on like building is it a mausoleum? Mosque? That's where you put, like, if you want to be buried with your family, like in a closed-in area. That's the plan that I have, that I want to do. So there's the little drive there to where you used to be able to drive in, and then they planted this big tree because they're just like, no, we don't want people here. Weird things are happening. We don't like it. And so we just tell people to stay away. But of course, no one does. Why would you stay away from that? I did have some really good, like, pictures and footage. I actually brought Vlad here, and he actually did go over to the vampire graves and was, like, singing. And I was like, oh, that'd be really cool, you know, to have. But for some reason, my OBS completely blacked out the interaction, so you didn't see it. And then I ended up setting it to where island spirits go here, and it is haunted. And then a vampire Nexus, I think that's what I kept it as, because I was like, I want spirits to randomly show up, the good and the bad. And so that's why I went ahead and did the island spirits. And then an island spirit did show up actually over there on the witch's grave, and so I had him transport over there, had a good footage of that, and got a picture of him kind of interacting with the ghost. And again, it didn't save, and I was just like, apparently this freaking graveyard is haunted, because it won't even let me take pictures. In my years of ghost hunting, I'm like, I know the frustrations. I was like, did I just really make a haunted graveyard to where my computer won't even let me take pictures? So that's really cool. So if this is something that you want to add into your Sims stories and kind of just land and kind of spice it up a little bit, this is something, if you know of other people that have made graveyards and kind of other spooky kind of ideas. I know my brother has pushed me a lot to make a haunted house, and I just haven't gotten to it. After doing this, and I want to do more with my vampires. I haven't really done anything with my vampires. I think I was gifted the pack, and so, like, I haven't even interacted with Vlad, and I keep hearing, like, crazy stories about Vlad, but I'm like, he never does anything. He came into my house one time, and I told him to leave, and he left. And that, like, the only interaction I had with him. So now I'm just placing around, you know, I didn't want it to be completely green, so I really got a lot of stuff from Debug that kind of made it more just run down and just spooky. The pictures that I have, they're during the daytime, but again, the pictures I had with Vlad, it was raining, it was a thunderstorm, and it was, like, set up perfectly. And for whatever reason, it did not save the pictures. When I went to my screenshots and everything, all the pictures were completely black. There was no way to save them, and they were just, like, gone. And I was like, oh gosh, what have I done? So that is a story in itself of me doing this build and trying to get the shots I wanted. It was, like, set up perfectly, and my computer just blacked them out for whatever reason. And so I'm interested to see how this will play through. Like I said, I actually did go ahead and put, like, animals here too. I put the animals more closer to the witches' graves because I kind of had this idea of their familiars were buried there with them. So they're over there too. I might do a pet cemetery regarding the movie. I don't know yet, but I definitely want to branch out and try and do some non-conventional things and other things and utilizing what The Sims has here. And I actually had fun doing this. It was definitely something out of the ordinary. I didn't technically build anything, and so this was the fastest build I ever did. This is the full video without me cutting or slicing anything. It was an hour build, sped it up to like 10 minutes, and so I'm like, wow, I should try and do hour builds from now on, but that's not gonna happen because I get too distracted. I was trying to put it to where, like, a car was trying to go in and maybe have, like, some shovels and stuff, but I was like, that's not gonna work. I thought about putting, like, a random baby just standing there. I'm like, okay, that could be a little creepy. Let's watch ourselves a little bit here, Luna. So I didn't want to spook anyone out too much. So there's my do not enter sign of them trying to just evade everyone from coming into this graveyard. But let me know down in the comments if you like this graveyard. I did end up putting spooky music boxes around that building because I want you to enter and you kind of just hear spooky music. So that's the idea to that. The screenshots are coming up. Thank you guys again for checking out this video, and until next time, this is Luna, Galaxy out.